You the latest here in a chemistry coloring book. So some of the simplest illustrations to do. And actually, the screen here has got taking stuff there. There we go. So your palette has most of your tools over here. So what you're going to do, it's really ironic that the little things will cover up your moving things. So if you want to take the time to go down and grab the hand, which is really a useful tool, you can move the whole screen up. Now what you need to do is what they don't tell you here. I'm going to bring this down a little to show the keyboard. When you start doing a program, the control key here, take the caps lock off right here. Can you see over here? Right here. If you get in the habit of holding that, it'll change the tool. So this way you have two tools that are your access to. So say you're up here, you look on the palette, we want to work with some text. So to begin with here, I'm going to open a new we'll show this at the beginning too. When you open a new document, it's going to give you this document window. And what you're going to need to do is name it. So right up here, it's already lit for you. So you can fit as many letters in as you want. So this is the coloring book. Spelling it right? Coloring book. Utilize your capital lowercase letters because it'll make it easier when you got 6 words in your thing and now they're not playing all. DCL capo. It's Latin for play it again from the top. All right, so we're going to show you here the first pages of the chemistry coloring book. So we open a new document, and what I do is I use 11 by 17. That way what you're able to do is get 2 pages on one. There, that's better there. So now you can read it. 11 by 17, you pick the orientation. You have landscape or upright. They call this tabloid. This is a good size. You never hear it used much, so learn this term, tabloid. It's 2 8.5 by 11 pages next to each other. We're going to do ours in the landscape mode. So up here again in the naming, coloring book, put a dash. Let's see, what could we do? Let's do a, how about a jumble of sugar terms? Sugar. So see, I start each new word with a capital, use lowercase. This way it's easier to read the word in the title name of the file. So jumble, sugar terms. And what I always do is date it. So first date here is it's Friday the 13th. Capital letters May 2011. All right, now it's bigger than the window, but it doesn't matter. Old days you couldn't do that. So see what we have here is a clean slate. So when we look at the whole screen, down here on the palette, some of the tools you have is the zoom tool. So this you have to do because it's still archaic. That means old. The way you have to fit your whole document in the picture. So one of those shortcuts I was telling you about again is if you go down here to the Alt key, right there, hold the Alt key down, and what it's going to do is it's going to change your zoom from a plus to a minus. So see how you're holding that? So we can get both those in one. I guess we'll back up a little bit here. Got them both. So if you hold them both, it's a shortcut. So command, you hit it, and it goes back, back, back. You can push down on your key. This is the same as hitting Alt-Turn. So that's why I said you're going to get your fingers so used to doing the shortcuts. This one here will change your tool. This will change the inside of it. So we got the plus minus. So we need to fit the whole screen in here. Guys, I'm taping. Your voice is coming through. So when you use the shortcuts, it'll save a lot of time instead of scrolling up to the top, finding the tool that you need. So here's our boundary. So see, again, when it wasn't all in the screen, you're not sure what you're working with here. So now you can click, and you got most of it, and you still got to center it. So what you do is you go in and you can pre-do, they're called hotkeys. So pick a key that you want your hand to be, because the hand here is about the only one that you're able to move the whole picture with. So again, you got the whole screen in here now. So what you do is you go up here to Windows, and what you look for are your toolboxes, because some of these aren't shown. So if you ever need to find your tools are clicked, color is clicked. What we're looking for here is view, show rulers. So when you show the rulers here, you got your grid up top here. We know this is 11 by 17, 17 across, so we want to split that in half to show what our 8.5 by 11 page would be. So you just grab your arrow over here, hold your finger down, and you drag over, and you'll see a little line. See it appear there? So we want to get that up to half, which is going to be right there. Got to do the math. The notches, crop marks are off, so you got to really figure it out in your head. That is actually 9. Half of 17 is right there, 8.5. So now you've got a green line, real faint. It won't print. It won't show in your final product. But now you know where the page is going to be folded. So all the artwork is going to have to fit on this half of the 8.5 by 11 side. So we go down, we click the text tool, we come over, your shortcut hitting the control key. See how it puts an arrow? So what you got to do is always find a place to click. Got your hot button down here. Hold this down. And what it does is it throws in a text spot. So here now we can start typing. So if we start typing, what are we doing here? We're doing jumble. Keep it all capitals. Jumble is Jumble. Now see, the text is too small to read. It's better to type it and go in and now change it, because if you set it, you'll end up changing it anyway. So now when we're up here, we go up to type, font, and see all the different fonts show up on the side here. So you can pick one and see if you like it. If you don't like it, you just pick a different one. So let's say AdLib BT. Go back to type. This time we want to scroll down to size. 12 is too small. So it's a title. Let's pick 48 points. So see now how it's bigger? And this always happens too. The front J is off. So you click your text tool in there and you back up to delete it, and then you're going to hold your Shift J. Still done. So this isn't why I'm showing you this. If you keep typing, it's keeping the old text size. You see that? It never fails. So you got to get really good at looking at where the blinker is. Go over, retype J and the U, and then you got to back up to where it was, and then delete everything. It'll remember, it's really tricky, it'll remember the text size on one side, and then when you change in the middle to something else, so you're just going to get in the habit of going one in, and then when you're in the middle, you know it's going to have to be that size. So if you go in there now and type JJJJ, even though it's lowercase, it's still that same text size. So we're going to jumble sugar terms. SUGARTERMS. Now what you do, see the blinker? This is where you got to go down now. You click this with your thumb, use your finger as the pointer, and you come up here where the text is. See where it's blinking there? So you got to blink and hold it down and scroll back. So while your thumb is holding it down, thumb's holding it down and you're using your finger to go across here, and you grab some text. So this is where it was blinking. If you go and start somewhere else, you put your thumb down, click, there's the blinker, and you can scroll from there. Now we want this terms from sugar terms, so we use our finger. So we did that. We held down and then use our finger over. So now we've got sugar terms. We go up, hold it. Now if you let go, it's already set there. So see, now you can move around and you won't lose where you are. If you're doing this, as long as you don't click. So even though that's going, your text now is highlighted. So now we go up to type. We pick size. We want to make this one smaller. So if that's 48, let's try 24. There. So see now, use our thumb pointer tool, because see, we're still in the text tool. So instead of going over here, switching the tool and all that, if we just click down on control here, our shortcut right there on the end, we grab control, it changes the text tool to an arrow. So see now with the arrow, we can use our thumb on the grabber, finger, and grab all that text and move it on up there and center it as a title. So this is just simple text work here. Get it focused. Go in a little bit here. So the text tool, you're just going to get in the habit of moving around. Use your arrow tool to click. Now you're freed of that, because a lot of times you're holding this. You'll see this when you're filling out a form on the internet. You're in one little text box, and then you think you move to the next one, but you're still in that. The birthdays is the one. When you do the year, and then you think you're in a new box, and as you're moving your finger around, it's changing the year, even though you're not looking at it. And then you click out, and you go back, and you send the form in, and it comes back and says your birthday is 1910. So get in the habit of using your tool here to get it a pointer. So as soon as you get a pointer, I always click, and it doesn't put a point, but it frees you of where you were. And if you ever need to, see, a lot of times now you got the text tool, you're going to click it, and you're not going to realize that there's text starting there. So say you decide you didn't notice that. Now we're going to go down here, and we're going to pick a word, sugar terms. So let's say we click text tool, we're going to do glucose, Glucose. Well, we go to move it, and what we're going to see, if we go like this, see there's a little tab up there. That's when we accidentally clicked it before with the text tool. So always your arrow is what you're going to be using the most of. So you get that and you just delete it. So again, if you ever click somewhere by accident and you're off somewhere else, you don't realize it, you can do select all, Command A or whatever, so it clicks everything, and you look and you see a little dot there. And you're like, well, wait a minute, there's nothing there. You got to get rid of those. There's things called stray points also that'll do that. So use your arrow. This is why it's like a video game. I think kids would have fun doing this. So you delete that. Now we take glucose. We use our pointer to click at the beginning. Text tool, we highlight it. We do Command C, shortcut to copy. So see what I'm doing here? Hold Command C to copy. Click it and it remembers it. And then you're going to come and